Hey y'all, my name is Darylyn and welcome to my channel. This video is going to be about my story in having endometriosis. If you don't know what endometriosis is, I do have a video right there, so check it out. This video is long overdue due to me being fearful, due to me overthinking, because I'm not the best speaker sometimes. I sometimes stutter. I sometimes have brain fog. See, look at me, frog. Brain fog. And I say, you know what? I shouldn't let things that I could improve or work on stop me from sharing a message that may help somebody. So that's what I'm doing today. I am sharing my endo story that has really took a toll on my mental, or has taken a toll on my mental before, and that just changed me for the better. So we're gonna hop into the video and let's get to it. At the end of 2018, I had moved to Atlanta, Georgia, and 2019 was the beginning of everything, the beginning of life for me. Moved out my mama's house, was kind of hopping around from place to place, and even when I was in Atlanta, I was everywhere. The middle of 2019, my body started changing. I was eating a little different. I ate eggs. I specifically remember me eating eggs, 3 eggs every morning, scrambled. It was just a lot. And I just thought I was being so healthy in a sense. And Atlanta is very conscious, very Black conscious when it comes down to like food. So that kind of put me on game. So in the middle of 2019, I realized that my stomach was very bloated, very, very bloated. And at times I'm like, okay, it's just my period, cool. But it was a bloating that was recognizable and wouldn't go down. It just wouldn't go down. Mind you, I'm always flat tummy, okay? I'm always flat with it. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, something not right. I then realized that my stomach was hard on one side and it felt like something was in there. And it didn't hurt at the time. In the middle of 2019, it did not hurt. I just realized that I was very bloated. So I go to the doctor and I get my once a year checkup, go to my GYN. Shout out to IKEA for the benefits. Get your benefits. So I went to my GYN and I said, you know, I have been experiencing bloating and it's been hard on this side and I don't know what's there. So she feels my pelvic, and she also, you know, sometimes when they have to go into the vagina, and she feels it out, and she's like, yeah, something's in there. Like, and I'm like, what? Because it ain't a baby. It definitely ain't no baby. I'm gonna tell you it ain't not. But she's like, something is definitely in there and we need to get some tests and scans done. Okay, cool. So I'm like, you know, we gon' woosah on this. We ain't gonna panic. Went to go get the test done, and they found a mass of 12.8 centimeters. Now that is pretty big, but in my mind, I still was hung over on the fact that I had something in me and nobody could tell me what it was, or she couldn't tell me what it was. So she's like, yeah, you have a mass of 12.8 centimeters. And I said, okay, what's next? She said, well, it possibly may be endometriosis, but we don't really know. So maybe we need to get more tests done, and I'm going to send you to this doctor, another doctor. So I get sent to another doctor. She does some tests that I can't think of on top of my head. And she's like, yeah, you possibly have endometriosis. You know, it's covering your whole ovary. And I'm like, what? What? Like, what is this? Can somebody explain to me what specifically is endometriosis is? Because I was so frustrated that the doctors couldn't really explain endometriosis. It was just something that was common, hereditary, and they don't know how it gets there, etc., etc. So at this point, when I go to the second doctor, I'm kind of frantic because I'm like, y'all not giving me no information, and y'all telling me that I have a 12.8 centimeter mass in my body. Me being me, on the computer researching. I was on the wrong side of YouTube. I can't be honest. I was on the wrong side of YouTube trying to get information, just thinking like, I can't have children. Like, my life is over. Like, oh my God. Like, what is happening right now? What is in my body? Take it out. Fast forward, I went to this white lady. I don't know why I say white lady, but I had to because she really tried me. I went to this lady, this white lady. I went to her and so the second GYN, she sent me to somebody else. And I'm like, okay, we're just gonna play Ring Around the Rosie. Cool. So at this point, I'm on my third doctor, right? Third doctor. You know, she's telling me like, what questions do you have for me? Because at that point, I was like, I don't know what to do. She said, well, you know, you can get on birth control. It slows the growth down. Only thing she recommended me was birth control. I was trying to do everything in my power to figure out what it was, but to also slow down the growth of this mass. They then tell me that I need to have surgery to get it out, and that possibly an ovary was gonna be taken out. And I'm like, huh? A what? A ovary? Oh, where I produce? Like, no, we can't do that. And that's what kind of really set me off. So at this point, I'm doing everything to like figure out what do I need to do. And I took the lady advice and ended up getting on birth control. Baby, let me tell you about birth control. I'm gonna put below a link down of a documentary on birth control. I never liked birth control. I had birth control one time and it made me fat as hell. I was very emotional, moody. It was a lot. And I said, I don't want to deal with this. So I ended up taking it out. And that's when I was like, had just graduated out of high school that I had got on birth control. And I said, nah, this ain't it for me. I knew I really didn't want to birth control, but me not knowing anything about endometriosis, I'm like desperate. So I tried birth control. Did the birth control. I ain't had that birth control no more than 2 months. Okay. I already didn't like it. I started to feel sharp pains when I had the birth control. That's when I really started to feel the mass in me. I'm like, okay, this is affecting it somehow. Something is telling me to get it out. I go back to the doctor who recommended me the birth control. And I was like, yeah, I need this taken out of me. At that point, I had ended up, that's when I found this series on Netflix about birth control and what it does, and like that it's a synthetic hormone and so many other different things that just was like, no, why should we as women put something in our bodies that will really destroy us? And birth control is a whole different story, let me tell you. And I highly recommend people to not get birth control. Like, it is your body, our bodies are different, but no, birth control just ain't it. And there's also quote unquote herbs that are birth control. Different story for a different day. Go to the doctor and she's like, yeah, so why you want to get your birth control taken out? And I'm like, well, I've done some research and I just don't think it's for me. Why? Nigga, I don't think it's for me. I've done what I've looked, I've researched, and there's some things that I just don't agree with. And I want to take it out. So, but why? Like, what did the research that you did say? Ma'am. When I get to say ma'am, it's about to be real disrespectful. Like, you're kind of pushing it. You're pushing the button. I said, ma'am, I would like to get this taken out. Just take it out. So she gets to like telling me, basically, I feel like she was telling me what, I don't know, the government or somebody tells them, or doctors or whatever school that she went to, they tell them to say certain things to patients to make you believe something. And like I always say, doctors aren't be all. Doctors don't know everything. It's no disrespect to them, but they don't know everything. And I truly believe that we can heal ourselves, but that's a different story for a different day as well. And she just was really trying to get me to keep this birth control in. We was going literally back and forth. about this birth control, to where I was just like, one, why are you trying to get me to explain myself about something that's in my body, something that I control, something that I live with every day? No, take it out. She then starts kind of asks personal questions like, are you or your boyfriend trying to get pregnant? Like just a whole bunch of questions that really didn't matter and went around of what I asked for. At that point, I was getting irritated. I said, ma'am, take this out of me. I should not have to go back and forth with you on something that I want to do. It felt like, damn, another one.
Another one. Another one. And another one.
When I said another one, like, dang, they know what to do type. And nah, it's like, nah, nigga, I do know what to do. Take this out of me. Just the first step. Take this out of me. Take this birth control out of me. That's what it felt like. So as she's taking the birth control out, you know, we get finished, and she says, as I'm walking out the door, I would never forget this because it really, whew, I'm getting chills talking about it. Like, as I'm walking out the door, she says to me, well, I hope that thing gets better. It took everything in me not to go off on this lady. My partner had to, you know how somebody gotta lead you out like the ushers? Baby, let me tell you, my partner, he said, come on, let's go. I was about to let her have it in that hospital. You hear me? I was about to let her have it. Because how dare you insult me by saying that thing, and you knew exactly what that thing was, which is endometriosis. I had wrote a little nice letter to the hospital. Of course, they didn't do anything. Of course, my girl is out here probably throwing out birth control everywhere, giving people false information. I was so, I can't even like talk. I was so hurt because it's like, why would you say that to somebody? What is wrong with you? What is wrong? It's the way she said it, the tone, the energy in the room shifted when I made a decision. And don't ever let nobody make you, you know, my partner always tells me, you could change your mind. In that moment, I changed my mind and I was stern on it. You know what I'm saying? That moment of the birth control was that was a story for you. All right, moving along. Had that interaction with the doctor, ended up going to another doctor. At this point, I'm just like, this mass has to get out of me. And it really ended up being a cyst, by the way. This cyst has to get out of me. The cyst, I found out, was filled with blood. It was technically, I believe, a chocolate cyst. So it had to get out of me. After that, I'm researching doctors, like the best doctors, trying to figure out, okay, how do I do this? And really doctors that take my insurance. Found the doctor, the Asian lady. She was really nice. But when I went to the doctor, everything felt rushed. The nurse was like, come on in, da 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 da. So do you need anything? Da da da. And I'm just like, wait, calm down. Like, what's going on here? The doctor comes in and she said, yeah, so I looked at your scans. We have a test, da 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 da. You know, you have endometriosis, but it's possible that you're gonna have to get your right ovary removed. When I heard that, I ain't gonna lie to you, I bawled. I was just like, what? What do you mean? Why? Am I still gonna be able to have kids? I'm like, what is this? She was like, yeah, you're gonna have to get your ovary removed, but it's okay, you still can have kids, you know. So these are the papers that you can look over. This is when your surgery date is, and do you have any questions? Nigga, I got a lot of questions. I don't know what's what. But like, what is this? Everything is happening so fast. Can I have some time to comprehend what's happening to me? She scheduled my surgery. And I got scared. I got very scared. This was the end of 2020. I didn't know what to do at that point. I ended up canceling the surgery. I was just like, okay, I don't know. I don't feel comfortable doing this. I've never had surgery before. I've always been healthy. I don't know what's happening. We're not gonna do it. All right, 2021 happens. And really, I think I got my dates wrong. Time really be going by fast. This was actually 2020. The end of 2019 of December, I was supposed to have a surgery. And 2020, that's when COVID and stuff started happening. Okay, I got my years right. So I was like, I need to find something ASAP. They probably gonna shut everything down. Like, I need to find somebody. But I still was kind of like winging it and not taking it too serious, but just not knowing what to do. I was at work. And when I say I had one of the most excruciating pains I ain't never felt in my life, it was like somebody was like, choo, 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 choo. And to where it was unbearable that I had to go to the ER. The ER was trash. They literally had me waiting for about 3 hours, 3 whole hours to see somebody. After those 3 hours, they kind of subsided, but I'm like, dang, I'm all right now. Went to the ER. They're like, yeah, this cyst is growing. You got to get this out of you. Like, it could be bad. In that moment when I had that pain at my job, I feel like something was bursting. Something ruptured in me, but it didn't. Thankfully, nothing ruptured. I just had very bad, sharp pains. The doctor who came to see me at the ER, she was like, you need to get this like taken out ASAP. If you wanted to conceive a baby, you couldn't. You couldn't. Like, it's literally covering your right ovary. You cannot have no baby. And then I'm just sitting there like, dang, I have to do something for real, for real. So they recommended me this GYN that handles surgeries with endometriosis. So a week after I went into the ER, I had seen a doctor who they recommended me, and she was really sweet. She was very patient. She was like, do you need any questions? Or do you have any questions? She really just broke everything down for me. She didn't force me to do anything that I didn't want to do. And I really liked that. I was just like, okay, she on my good side. But then at the same time, I was like, I need the best of the best. So I ended up researching this other doctor or this practice that fully focuses on endometriosis and fibroids and cysts. Baby, that insurance didn't cover nothing. So I was like, and they were expensive, but I do believe that they were the best. But the insurance just wouldn't cover me. So I had to end up going to the doctor I initially seen about just getting surgery done. I was scheduled for surgery in March, but due to COVID happened, this was the beginning of COVID. They was like, nah, we have to push your date back. And I was just like, come on now, bro. Like, I gotta get this out of me. I don't know how long I have. I got rescheduled for May 15th. And around COVID, I had surgery on the 15th. And before I had surgery, I found out I couldn't have nobody in the hospital with me. Nobody. Not my partner, not my mama, nobody. And that was a very, I was not expecting that. That was a very rough period. That was a very rough period of like being alone for real, for real. Oh, God, did I do? Oh, Lord. All right. That was a real rough period for me because I ain't have nobody. I was living with somebody. I wouldn't say I was homeless because I had a roof over my head, but I was living with somebody. And I was going through surgery. And it was like really rough. The fact that nobody was with me in my surgery. It was rough. But I remember, shout out to Dr. Kaylin in my surgery, you know, she held my hand. She held my hand and I fell asleep and I woke up the next day. Being in that hospital was really lonely. Like, it was really lonely because I'm just like, oh my God, like, I'm really dealing with this alone. That was a very interesting time. Girl, I'm really crying. And I ain't sorry for it either. I probably ugly cried a little bit. But I woke up, I felt lighter. I definitely felt lighter, like it was gone. It was completely gone. It wasn't a good feeling to not have nobody when you going through such a rough time. And my partner was there. He literally dropped me off, and he told me he waited for me. He waited for about 3 hours when he dropped me off. My experience in the hospital was really good. The food was so good. Like, I ain't gonna lie, hospital food was running it up. The nurses were sweet. When I was in the hospital, I was resting a little bit. The second day, I started walking, just getting mobile. Went back in my room, reflected, slept a whole lot. I slept a lot. Like, I really slept a lot. And it was very nice. Like, I really ain't want to leave the hospital. I ain't gonna lie to you, because, baby, nothing like getting catered to. The only thing I didn't like is when my doctor came into my room. And I still was kind of off the meds after my surgery. She was just like, yeah, so your cyst was really big, you know, it was 15 centimeters. Yeah, do you have any questions? And I'm like, nigga, I can't even think right now. You really think I got questions, girl? I don't know. I said, no, I don't have no questions. I didn't have a bad experience at all. It was just very lonely. Prior to the hospital visit, I was in there for 3 days, and I left. My partner, he brought me some flowers, and I was just like, it was sweet. After I got out of surgery, I was on bed rest for a couple of weeks. The first week, I needed a lot of help, like just getting up the stairs, taking a shower, things of that nature. I will show y'all the 15 centimeter cyst that was in my body. It was huge. It looked like some type of animal or something that was unknown. To believe that something that big was in my body really shook me. It shook me to my core, because it was just like, how can something this big grow in me? I know for a fact the birth control definitely attacked it. What I was eating attacked it. Environment, stress, everything was just me trying to figure out life, what I'm gonna do, was attacking it. And I know that's what made it grow. And we have to be very mindful of what we feed ourselves, what we watch, who we're around, just our stress levels. It's so many different variables to endometriosis. And I just felt like I really needed to share my story, because it was a story that I didn't think would ever happen to me. I didn't think that was gonna ever happen to me. My mom had endometriosis, and I didn't know till like 2020. I didn't really know, and I still didn't even know what it meant. I don't believe that it's hereditary. I believe that the lifestyle that you grew up or and how you grew up is hereditary. So when, like, the way we eat, if you grew up fried chicken, that's what you're gonna eat. Fried chicken. If you ain't been exposed to nothing else, that's what you're gonna eat. I believe that I had endometriosis for a reason, to reveal to me how strong I am, to reveal to me that I could see and be anything that I wanted to be, and overcome it. I personally believe that I don't have endometriosis anymore, because I started to switch up my lifestyle, the way I eat, the way I talk to myself, and I still struggle with these things. I am not perfect whatsoever, but I started to take a look deeply within myself on what I needed to change, and I believe that I had to have endometriosis for a reason. Like I said, it's a disease, a dis-ease that nobody really talks about. I'm practicing the holistic way of doing things, and that's a journey in itself. There's a lot of things that I believe can cure and heal endometriosis, and I believe that we have the answers. So this Tumblr that I have by Craft Dad Nola, that's my auntie, by the way. Craft Dad Nola. So if you need like customizable tumblers made, holla at her, you know, the link is down below. Thank y'all for listening to my endo story. If you made it this far, thank you. Girl, I didn't know I was gonna cry. Oh Lord, I did not know I was gonna cry, but it was needed, because we have a lot of wounds sometimes that aren't fully healed, and they kind of resurface. I just was thinking about everything that I was going through, and it's like, dang, like I made it this far, and I'm so happy. It's a sad feeling, but joyous feeling. You are not endo. You are not this dis-ease. You are experiencing it. You have to embrace it, but you also have to take accountability and figure out ways, find the information. There's so much information out there that a doctor cannot give you. It's all within yourself. I really hope that my story helps shift people in their perspective. Make sure y'all have supportive people who will stick by you. Make sure you are vocal about what it is that you're going through internally, so somebody can be to a help to you, because endometriosis is serious. It's not to be played with. You get depressed sometimes. I suffered with depression really damn near all my life, and that really like spiked it up for me. You need somebody. You really need somebody. So talk to somebody about it, because we really never alone. We really truly are never alone. And it sounds so cliche, but we have to start looking around with us and stop like internalizing everything and sometimes playing victim. I'm just saying, because I sometimes experience having a victim mentality. Like I said, thank y'all so much for watching this video. That was long overdue. I think this was one of the most transparent, realist videos that I've ever made, and I'm so happy that I was able to share with you all, and I thank y'all. Peace and blessings. Bye.